Suicide attempts increased between 7 and 72% for transgender and non-binary young people living in states that enacted anti-trans legislation. That's according to a new study by the Trevor Project, which works to end suicide among lesbian, gay,
is also going to feel the impact of the actions taken by
the study relied on national survey data published in 200,000 transgender and non-binary people, and the results are published in the German-wide journal
Julian, a Christian multiple organization.
575 anti-LGBTQ laws have been introduced this year alone, attacking people just like you and me for something out of their control. These aren't just people, they're kids too. Kids that want to grow up, live a normal life, but even that isn't promised anymore. So, what's it really like? Having to fight for your right to exist while at the same time fighting to make sure your grades aren't slipping too much. What's the queer experience like being a student at Monomoy?
My name is Jeremiah Nickerson. I am the ceramics and sculpture teacher at Monomoy High School. So I think, you know, the community, the art community, and the gay community have been intertwined really forever. So it's inevitable that the gay students or queer students tend to gravitate towards my classes.
Do you see a lot of homophobia in your classroom?
I do not. I do not.
And why do you think that is?
I think it's, a lot of it has to do with just the classroom environment that I create, where it's really important to me that everyone feels comfortable in here, and I just don't, I think people know better. That makes sense. And that goes kind of across, not just with like homophobia stuff, gay stuff. Like I want to make everybody feel comfortable. So I don't really put up with anything like that. I'm the only one that's allowed to be mean.
How do you think the faculty here handles homophobia and incidents and stuff like that?
I would say it's probably a case-by-case basis. Just like anywhere in the world, you know, there's, or anywhere around, you know, like certain people take things more seriously than others. Certain people maybe see it more where it's not, or don't see it at all where it is. You know, some people are just oblivious. I'd say on the whole, though, this is a pretty safe place in the grand scheme of schools in general. You know, I'm sure there are kids that may disagree with me, but you know, if they were to be put into a different environment, you know, would realize like how good you have it here.
Hi, I'm Kaylee, and I'm in 10th grade, and I'm a queer student at Monomoy. I have had both students and staff contribute homophobic behavior of some way, whether that's comments, targeting certain behaviors of mine just because I'm queer, as well as just making it a point to point it out and just be disrespectful about it and make it seem like me being a part of LGBTQ in any way is bad in some way. And it really doesn't matter who it was, because it's been students as well as faculty. So I would say there are quite a few staff members who will sit down and have a discussion with students about it and everything, and they will take some sort of action to communicate with the student and the person being homophobic. But there are other staff members who kind of either portray that behavior and are okay with it, or they just don't care and they don't take the process to actually check on the student and how they're doing, as well as giving some sort of consequence to the one who was homophobic. So it's kind of a weird combination of both supporters and homophobic people at Monomoy, so like, a lot of people can assume that, will assume that I'm not a part of the community, so they don't necessarily see me as a target. But I've seen other students who necessarily dress more like they would be queer, and they have been targeted by other students, and it makes me upset because it's we're all people and there's no reason to just act like that in a classroom environment where you should be learning. So
my name is Ray Christakis. I'm in 11th grade and I am a lesbian.
Have you experienced any homophobia at Monomoy?
Yes. Yeah, I got called the D slur a few times. I used to get picked on, got called the F slur, and then I also used to get picked on in the girls' locker room for being there.
How do you think staff handles incidents of homophobia?
I think certain staff is way better at handling it than others. I think there needs to be more training about it. I think there's a lot of older staff or maybe more traditional staff that need to step it up.
How do you think homophobia impacts the students at Monomoy?
I think it's very detrimental to people's mental health, and I think it's a big reason for a lot of suicidal ideation and depression in our school.
I'm Luke Wise. I'm in 10th grade and I'm a transgender male.
Have you experienced any homophobia at Monomoy?
Oh yes, so much.
Can you elaborate on that?
Just getting physically and mentally harassed by mostly men in the hallway just for my identity alone.
How do you think the staff handles that behavior?
Oh, they don't at all, in the slightest.
You want to tell me more about that?
They just tell you that you're being immature about it, this is what happens in life, and they give you some terrible resources.
How do you think homophobia affects the students at our school?
It really drains them on their mental and physical, really changes you as a person. Students aren't able to fully complete their work or do anything with this going on.
Do you see a lot of homophobia at
Bro,
Monomoy?
I be seeing when I was big friends with Kaylee Vieira, back in the day, she used to get picked on for no reason, and same with Luke Wise. Luke Wise used to get picked on for no reason just because they associated with LGBT.
How do you think this behavior affects queer students at Monomoy?
Honestly, I think it's a really big part, because one time I was in the bathroom with Kaylee, and Kaylee was just telling me people are telling me this, people are telling me that, and it just makes me feel sad. And I just used to be seeing Kaylee cry in the bathroom because people was bullying her because she had a girlfriend, and I don't think that's right. I feel people can love who they want to love and just be normal.
Being queer in a world as divisive as it is now is an incredibly difficult thing. Balancing that on top of being a high school student is immeasurably more difficult. So it's important that you remember that you can have a positive impact on people's lives. Next time you think about making a comment on the way somebody dresses or the way they act, think about how that comment might affect them. Think about how what you're saying could contribute to somebody's day. Thank you for watching.